Chapter 2. Whispers of the Deep. The ship is quiet, the air thick with grief. Jacques pores over maps, his brow furrowed. Lupi sharpens her cutlass, her movements sharp and angry. Zumgal sits quietly, fiddling with a small wooden duck. Moby stares forlornly at the waves. The Kraken's wrath had been bought with blood. Mad Jack, a friend, a captain, was gone. Or so it seemed. A glimmer of hope remained. A desperate gamble whispered by Jack himself. The crew hacks their way through dense jungle. Sweat drips from their faces.
This blasted island! Feels like we're going in circles!
Don't worry, Loppy. We'll find him. Jack was a good man.
I hope he's alright.
Over there, I see smoke. Let's go. Come on.
They quicken their pace, pushing through the undergrowth. A small clearing. A wisp of smoke rises from a dying fire. A Native American man stands nearby, watching them with weary eyes. He is lean, with weathered skin and piercing eyes.
Hello? We're looking for someone who might know about Mad Jack Ketch.
The Native American stares, unblinking. He doesn't speak.
Great! Another dead end!
Jacques notices the man's throat moving, almost as if he's making an attempt to speak, but can't.
Are you unable to speak?
The Native American nods slowly.
Can he understand us?
The Native American nods.
Zumgal, friend. You know Mad Jack?
The Native American's eyes flicker. He nods again, then turns to a nearby rock face. He picks up a piece of charcoal and begins to draw. Crude images appear. A ship, a swirling vortex, a monstrous tentacled creature.
What's he drawing?
I can't tell. I don't... Oh, wait. I think he's telling us what happened.
The Native American draws more symbols. A figure falling, then a single stylized wave. He then draws more pictures, random signs and symbols from places unknown. Jacques quickly jots them down in his journal, his pen flying across the pages.
Vortex? Sacrifice? The deep? This is incredible.
The Native American suddenly makes shooing motions with his hands, his eyes filled with urgency. He points towards the jungle, then back at them.
He wants us to leave. Why?
The Native American points again, more forcefully, his expression grim.
He looks scared. Something's out there.
We go. He knows there's danger.
The crew retreats, glancing nervously over their shoulders. The Shadow Whisperer is battered, but still afloat. They work quickly, patching holes and reinforcing the mast with hastily felled trees.
Damn, Kraken nearly took our mast. Think this will hold?
Zumgal's strong. It hold. We have to get back to sea, quickly.
Jacques is hunched over his journal, illuminating by a flickering lantern.
I think I understand. There might actually be a way to save Jack.
Save him? From the bottom of the ocean? How?
The Native American, his drawings, they speak of a place beyond the known world, a place where the veil between life and death is thin.
A place nobody has been before?
Where we find this place?
Jacques pulls out a worn chart, its edges frayed.
Beard's forbidden charts. I always thought it was just a legend, but look.
You cannot read these charts. It's forbidden.
Forbidden? Let me guess. Forbidden by Jack? He's not here to tell us off now, so shush! What he doesn't know won't hurt him. Besides, necessity breaks all laws. I'm sure he wouldn't mind us rescuing his life.
He points to a section marked with ominous warnings and strange markings.
Set sail! We must go with the tide! Who knows what is lurking in the fog? Better yet, underneath the waves.
Weeks pass. The Shadow Whisperer battles through the storms and freezing cold temperatures. The crew is exhausted, their faces etched with worry. The journal was a trial. Thunderstorms raged, chilling winds howled, and the sun beat down mercilessly. Hope dwindled with each passing day. The ship reaches its destination. The air is heavy, charged with an unnatural energy.
What is this place? It feels wrong.
This is it. The place where the sea whispers to the dead. What we need to do now is play a shanty.
Play a shanty? What kind of shanty?
A dark song. A song said to chill bones, even those who have passed. Only then will we trigger the gate to the sea of the dead.
As soon as they start playing, bubbles begin to rise from beneath the ship and around them.
What's happening?
There once was a pirate who was lost at sea. The crew were forsaken with misery. The ship was a-sailing towards destiny. The Kraken, the monster,
it took his soul.
the crew have abandoned all of their hope. They're sailing the ship to another coast.
It's a hopeless adventure, their final voyage. They followed the signs to the island, and they ventured to the land of the dead, where the ghostly shanties fill up your head with a click and a clack and a feeling of dread. Oh, they ventured to the land of the dead. The sand on the beach was of powdered bone. Each tree was a gallows and each rock a tombstone. A xylophone, the rhythm from a rib cage was thrown. The fiddler, the phantom, he played a tune.
The crew dropped their anchors in the black lagoon, beneath the pale grin of a skeletal moon.
It's a ghastly reunion, a bony communion. They're marching in time to the island's tune. And they ventured to the land of the dead, where the ghostly sea shanties fill up your head with a click and a clack and a feeling of dread. Oh, they ventured to the land of the dead. Then a voice from the cliffs gave a terrible shout.
Well, look what the terrifying tide washed out.
It was their old captain, beyond any doubt. He sat on a throne made of coral and dread, with two glowing embers eyed under his head. Welcome aboard, the skeleton said. And they ventured to the land of the dead, where the ghostly sea shanties fill up your head with a click and a clack and a feeling of dread. Oh, they ventured to the land of the dead. Click, clack, go their feet on the shore, rattle and shake as they ask for some more. The ship is a phantom, the crew is no more. In the land of the dead.
Hold on to something!
The Shadow Whisperer begins to descend, plunging into the inky blackness. The world dissolves into darkness. Down, down they went, into the crushing depths where no light could penetrate. Weirdly enough, the crew did not get wet, nor did they suffocate. The air was breathable, but how? Some time later, the Shadow Whisperer rises upward from the depths, breaking the surface of the still water. They are no longer on the open ocean, but in a vast, echoing tunnel. A narrow channel of water stretches before them, barely wide enough for the ship to navigate. The tunnel was dripping from above. It was cold. It smelled damp. Something was off. It didn't smell like any ordinary tunnel. There was something foul in the air.
Where are we now?
According to Bluebeard's charts, we have passed through the Forgotten Gate, a gate we thought to have been lost for eons and then some. We have arrived at the Seas of the Dead.
This is it. The point of no return.
What do we do now?
Zumgal looks at Moby and smiles softly.
We find Jack.
Chapter 3: The Lost Echoes. They had finally made it. The dreaded Sea of the Dead, a place whispered about in hushed tones, a graveyard of forgotten ships and lost souls. But for the crew of the Shadow Whisperer, it was merely another treacherous path on their relentless quest to find Mad Jack. The Shadow Whisperer, a sleek, dark vessel, glides cautiously towards a colossal, jagged maw carved into the sheer rock face. The entrance is barely wide enough for the ship, a narrow channel of dark, still water stretching into an ominous, echoing void. Zumgal stands at the bow, his comically large falchion strapped to his back, scanning the darkness ahead. He grins, a slight glint of excitement in his dark brown eyes, before catching himself and lowering his gaze, almost shy. Moby sits perched on a coil of rope, his sapphire necklace glinting faintly in the dim light. He peers into the gloom. Loopy, her face smeared with dark, mud-like makeup, stands at the helm, expertly maneuvering the ship. Her wild, short hair is unruly against the eerie calm of the water. She holds her cutlass loosely. Jacques stands beside her, his hands gripping the railing, eyes wide with a mixture of apprehension and awe.
Right then, lads. This is it. The Sea of the Dead. Looks less like a sea and more like a swallowed throat.
And a tight one at that. Don't scrape the paint off the Whisperer, Captain. She wouldn't forgive you.
It's quiet. Too quiet. Like the ocean went to sleep and forgot to wake up.
Good one, Moopson. Maybe it's just shy, like me sometimes. We'll make it up with our magnificent plan.
Loopy gives Zumgal a look, a mixture of fondness and exasperation.
Our magnificent plan, Zumgal, is to try and not get us all drowned in this glorified drain pipe. Jadek, remind me of the specifics.
Our plan, as agreed, is to continue through this tunnel system. The Native Americans' drawings implied this path leads to the heart of the whatever it is we're looking for. We look for clues, any sign of Jack, and perhaps, more importantly, how to get him out of wherever he is.
The drawings? Do we truly trust them? I mean, he drew a dancing squirrel holding a pineapple too. My short-term memory is a bit hazy on the helpfulness of that one.
Ha! He drew a duck wearing a tiny hat too. That was very helpful. He told me to enjoy life.
Loopy sighs, adjusting her grip on the helm.
The duck with the head might have been Zumgal's personal interpretation, Moby. But the rest of the map, it's the best lead we've got. Besides, even magic couldn't vanish into thin air without leaving some kind of trail. We go deeper.
The deeper they ventured, the more the air grew heavy, thick with the palpable dread. The familiar scent of salt and air vanished, replaced by something ancient and foul, like forgotten graves disturbed. The temperature plummeted, a biting chill seeping into their bones. The channel narrows further, forcing Loopy to navigate with extreme precision. The hull scrapes lightly against the wet, moss-covered rock walls. Suddenly, a faint orange glow ahead, then another, and another. Braziers, ancient and rusted, embedded at regular intervals along the wall, spontaneously ignite with a low whoosh, illuminating the path forward. They cast long, dancing shadows that made the narrow passage seem even more claustrophobic.
By the spirits, they just lit up.
This is eerie. Very eerie. I heard stories about the Sea of the Dead. They said it was haunted.
Haunted? Ha! Let them try to scare us. We just flex back. Show him our pearly whites!
Loopy, despite her outward calm, shivers. She focuses on steering, her expression grim.
Just keep an eye out for anything, everyone. Anything out of place. This place feels wrong.
They sailed for what felt like an eternity. Hours bled into one another, the oppressive silence broken only by the crack of the ship and the distant echoes of their own breathing. The air grew impossibly colder, each breath fogging in the frigid gloom. Finally, the tunnel begins to widen. The oppressive walls recede, and the narrow channel opens into a vast, cavernous expanse. The Shadow Whisperer glides into a subterranean lake. At the far side, the cavern walls rise ominously, but one section seems to come to an abrupt, unnatural end. Zomgal, Moby, and Loopy exchange a look. A collective, instinctive shudder runs through them.
It's a cave. The tunnel just stops here.
It's not just a cave, Jadek. It feels old. Like really, really old. And sad.
Yeah, like it wants a hug, but no one wants to hug it. Not even me, and I hug everything, except that one really prickly bush.
Loopy steers the ship towards the cave entrance. It's a small, craggy gap, too small for the Shadow Whisperer to pass through.
Alright, this is as far as the ship goes. Let's see what this lovely little hole has in store for us. Who's coming?
Me, I'll go first. Big brother, smash, right?
I'll go. Maybe the water inside is good for a swim later. Just in case.
Good man, Moby. Jadek, stay with the ship. Keep watch. Signal if anything comes knocking.
Aye, Captain. And Loopy. Be careful in there.
Loopy, Zomgal, and Moby disembark onto a small, rocky ledge. They approach the gap. Zomgal easily ducks through, followed by Loopy, then Moby, who squeezes through with a bit of a wiggle. The cave was a macabre tapestry of forgotten lives. Scattered across the uneven floor were grim reminders of those who had come before. Bleached human skeleton remains, intermingled with tarnished, ancient treasure, rusted coins, broken jewels, and dull metal trinkets. The air was still and heavy, thick with the dust of ages and the lingering scent of decay. Zomgal, Moby, and Loopy fan out, their eyes scanning the grim surroundings.
Ugh! This place feels picked over. Like someone already beat us to the good stuff.
Good stuff or not, we're looking for clues. Anything that points to Jack. Or even away from here.
Hey, what's that? It's not bones.
They follow his gaze. Against the rough natural rock of the cave wall stands a single, incongruous object. A tall, ornate wooden bookcase. It seems utterly out of place amidst the chaos of decay and scattered wealth. They approach it cautiously. The wood is dark, intricately carved, but covered in a thick layer of dust. Several shelves line it, but only a few books remain, scattered haphazardly.
A bookcase? In a cave full of skeletons? That's unexpected. And it looks almost regal.
Definitely doesn't belong here. It's too well crafted. Too deliberate.
Zumgal, with his direct approach, reaches for one of the books.
Maybe a story. I like stories, like DuckTales or Ducky Duck.
Hold on, big guy. Let's look at this architecture first. See if there's a trick.
They study the bookcase. Moby runs a paw along the spine of the book. Loopy peers at the shelves, her eyes narrowed.
See it? That one.
She points to a book on the second shelf from the bottom. It's slightly askew, not quite flush with the others, despite the dust. It's also cleaner than the rest, as if recently handled. Moby reaches for it.
This one? It looks out of place.
Exactly. Almost like someone wants you to notice it.
Moby takes the book. As he pulls it free from the shelf, a low grinding sound echoes through the cave. The floor beneath their feet rumbles.
Uh-oh. Not good, rumble.
Before anyone can react, the very ground they stand on gives way. The floor collapses with a deafening crack. They fall. Gravity claimed them, plunging them into a chaotic watery abyss. The floor had vanished into a vertical shaft, transformed into a terrifying water slide. A hidden waterfall, channeling through the very rocks themselves, had been unleashed, creating a furious torrent that swept them downwards. Zamgal, Loopy, and Moby are tossed and turned in a wild, fast-moving chute of water. It's an underground water slide, illuminated faintly by a strange phosphorescent glow from the rock wall.
Whee! It's like a giant bath, but faster!
Moby, now's not the time for your aquatic tendencies. Try to brace.
This is fun, like a giant ducky slide.
They slide for what feels like an eternity, plummeting down, down, down. The water is freezing. The turns sharp and disoriented. Finally, with a tremendous splash, they are ejected into a large, dark pool at the bottom. The waterfall continues to thunder down from above, creating a small, echoing chamber. They scrambled out of the water, soaked and shivering, into a narrow, rocky ledge. Their eyes adjust to the dim light.
Well, that was unexpected. Anyone hurt?
Just wet, and maybe a little dizzy. I need a snack now.
Moby points a shaky paw into the gloom ahead.
Look! Over there!
They turn. Barely visible in the oppressive darkness stands an enormous, ancient door. It's made of thick, dark wood, reinforced with rusted iron bands. But what truly makes their hearts pound is its appearance. It's stained, deeply and irrevocably, with what seems like dried, crusted blood. The air around the door is heavy, charged with an unspoken dread. It radiates a cold stronger than the waterfall's chill. Jaws drop collectively. Fear, cold and sharp, clutches each of their hearts.
By the gods.
That's a lot of wet.
I don't think I wanna open, but my fur's standing on end.
They stand frozen, contemplating the horrifying threshold. No one dares to move, to even suggest approaching it. The silence, broken only by the distant roar of the waterfall, is deafening. Suddenly, without warning, a deafening bang! The massive blood-stained door swings inward with incredible force. The ancient hinges squeak, then snap. They fly off the door, ricocheting off the stone walls with loud clangs, landing near the horrified crew. The door itself slams against the interior wall with a final sickening thud, revealing the chamber beyond. There is no visible person, no sign of what caused the violent opening. The only movement is the slow, silent drift of dust motes in the air. Moby lets out a small, terrified whimper. Lupi instinctively brings her hand to her cutlass. Zumgal's entire body tenses, his eyes wide and unblinking. In the land of the dead, where the impossible was merely the unproven, the crew's fear transformed into raw terror. This wasn't just a discovery, it was a phenomenon. A paranormal force, unseen, unheard, had unleashed the gate into a nightmare. Inside the now open doorway, the chamber revealed itself. It was a torture chamber. Hooks gleamed wickedly from the walls. Rack-like devices stood silent and menacing. Iron maidens, their spiked interiors barely visible, lined one side. Instruments of pain, unlike anything they had ever seen or imagined. Complex, horrifying contraptions of metal and wood filled the space. Blood-stained, fresh and old, marred every surface, glistening in the dim light. The air was thick with the metallic tang of dried blood and the acrid smell of fear. The sight is unspeakably gruesome. Everyone freezes, eyes wide with horror. They can't move, can't speak. But then, Zumgal's massive legs buckle. He falls to his knees, not from fear of the horror before him, but from something else entirely. His dark brown eyes dart around the room, then narrow, a flicker of something ancient and terrible igniting behind them.
No. Not this room. I know this room. But I don't know this place.
He stares at a particularly gruesome device, his breath catching in his throat, a flicker of recognition, a shadow of memory, stirring in the deepest, most forgotten corners of his mind. The terrifying familiarity of the chamber washes over him, a wave of forgotten pain and dread. He just can't place it. Not yet.
The weak soul. The sea doesn't grant clean deaths. It doesn't snap your neck or snuff you out in an instant. No, the sea suffocates. It crushes. It seeps into your bones with a cold touch that fire will never touch again. Mad Jack made his choice. His crew for himself. A fair trade in any pirate's ledger. He felt the Kraken's beak clamp down, a god's own pressure crushing his vessel. And then him. Mad Jack went into the darkness, expecting the end. But the end never came. There was just the cold. A paralysis so complete that Mad Jack couldn't even shiver. His thoughts were a single frozen scream trapped in a statue of flesh. He was conscious. A prisoner in his own corpse, sinking into the abyss. a shadow begins to form in the distance. It's not a creature, but a stain in the water, a patch of darkness that swallows the faint light. It swirls impossibly fast, like ink dropped in a glass of water. Then, a familiar dread. A darkness that doesn't belong to the deep. He'd seen it before, on the horizon, heralding ill winds and worse intentions. The dark cloud rushes towards Mad Jack, engulfing his view. The sound became a roaring vortex. His vision darkens, but this time the sound is sharp, like tearing fabric. A violent, retching sensation. The unusual request. Mad Jack is sprawled on a cold obsidian floor. He coughs, spitting up salty black water. He gasps for air, his limbs heavy and numb, but slowly responding. He pushes himself up to his elbows. His vision starts clearing. The room is vast and cavernous. The walls are unworked stone disappearing into a ceiling lost in shadow. This throne room has changed drastically since he last visited, but the foul stench is still here. The only light comes from flickering torches that cast long dancing shadows. In the center of the room sits a throne of jagged black basalt. Seated on the throne is the mysterious figure. He is cloaked in shadow, his features obscured, but his posture is one of authority. Before him is a large scrying pool, its surface swirling with milky nebulae. The figure isn't looking at Jack. He's gazing into the pool. A low chuckle escapes the mysterious figure, echoing slightly in the immense space.
The tides of fate have a curious way of returning lost things to my lair. Welcome back to my humble lair, Captain.
He forces himself to his knees, his hand instinctively going to his belt for a pistol that isn't there. He's soaked, shivering and disoriented.
You... What is this? The afterlife? Did your beast drag my soul to hell for you?
Hell? Catch, please. Such a pedestrian concept. This is merely a place of work, and you are not dead. Not yet. I intervened.
The mysterious figure finally turns his head, the shadows shifting slightly. 2 points of faint, piercing light can be seen where his eyes should be. Mad Jack staggers to his feet, swaying. Rage begins to burn through the cold.
Intervened? You sent that Leviathan. You tried to kill me. To sink my ship.
A necessary catalyst, not an execution. I have little interest in violence at this present time, Ketch. It is so... crude. Inefficient. I prefer conflict of a more cerebral nature this time, which is why you are here, now, alive.
He gestures to the empty room around them. It feels hollow.
Here for what? To be your plaything? Your trophy? I'd rather have taken my chances with the Kraken.
Shut up a minute. I need your help, Ketch.
The words hang in the air, so contrary to expectation that Mad Jack is momentarily stunned into silence. He looks around, truly taking in the scene.
My help? Why in the hell would I help you? You're the bastard that's been haunting my wake for a year. Answer me that.
Because our interests, for a brief and inconvenient moment, have aligned. The Kraken was a tool to separate you from your crew, to bring you here alone. I had a workforce. Goblins, dim-witted, but tireless. Once you escaped my grasp, I sent them after you. A large fleet of vermin.
He's turning his gaze back to the scrying pool with a hint of something that might be frustration.
They never returned, lost to storms or incompetence, or perhaps the talent of some pompous pirate. The result is the same. I am without hands.
Mad Jack follows the mysterious figure's gaze. The grand throne room is empty. No scurrying creatures. No minions polishing the stone. Only the two of them and the oppressive silence.
Your goblin problem is not my concern. I've killed more of them than I can count. Good riddance.
But my next project should concern you, and for it, I require a pirate's knowledge and a strong back, both of which you possess.
The mysterious figure rises from the throne and glides towards a shadowed alcove. He gestures, and an eerie green light illuminates stacks upon stacks of wooden crates. They are marked with crude alchemical symbols. But what would he want with them?
Powder sachets, rare, volatile compounds, gathered from the darkest corners of the world. I need them moved, here, into my sanctum.
So you can what? Blow up a port? Level a fortress? What are you scheming?
So much more. With these powders and a touch of my own particular artistry, I can construct explosive barrels of unprecedented power. Barrels that, when detonated, will merely punch more than a hole in a ship. It will vaporize it. A single barrel could obliterate a small squadron. Imagine the chaos, Ketch. Imagine the power. And there will be one person who shall be strapped to one of those barrels to finish what I started. Remember the key?
The mysterious figure turns back to Jack. The pinpoints of light that are his eyes seeming to burn brighter.
This will be a temporary alliance. A truce of necessity. Help me move these caches, and I will not only spare your life, but I will see to it that you are returned to your crew with a generous severance. Refuse, and I will simply return you to the abyss. This time, I won't intervene.
Mad Jack looks at the shadowy fiend who had tormented him. He's desperate. He has the magic, the grand evil plan, but he can't do the heavy lifting. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a rusty blade. He sees a broken, defeated, and lone pirate. a tool to be used. Mad Jack's shoulders slump. He runs a hand over his face, feigning exhaustion and despair. But he doesn't see the gears turning in Mad Jack's head. He doesn't see the flicker of a different kind of plan igniting in the back of his mind. He's offering Mad Jack a way back, yes, but he's also offering Mad Jack a way in. Behind the curtain, behind enemy lines. But Mad Jack was not going to let him get to Loopy. He has to proceed with this alliance, for now. Mad Jack looks up, his eyes meeting the figures. He lets out a long, weary sigh.
Fine. A temporary alliance. I move your powder. And you let me go. No tricks, no fine print, and no Loopy. Mark my words, I will kill you if you touch her.
Fine. You have my word, Ketch. Especially no Loopy. For now. But one day, it will happen.
The mysterious figure was a liar and a monster. But in that moment, so was Jack. He let him have his alliance. Let the devil think he holds all the cards. He wanted a partner in destruction. Mad Jack takes a step towards the alcove, cracking his knuckles. He looks at the mountain of crates, then back at the mysterious figure. What he got was a serpent in his nest. And Mad Jack would wait. He would coil. And then, when the time was right, Mad Jack would strike. The mysterious figure gives a slight, satisfied nod. The unholy pact is sealed.
Just you wait.